Hi, my name is Scott Smiler, and I'm a real estate partner at the law firm of Gallant, Dreyer, and Berkey. I would like to spend a few minutes with you to discuss the importance of due diligence. The purchase of a home, co-op apartment, or condominium unit is one of the biggest investments an individual will make, so it's important to have as much information as you can prior to signing the contract. The due diligence for co-op apartments and condominium units are similar in nature, so let's start with that first. There are a few main documents we would want to review. The first relates to the financials of the building. The financials will allow you to see if the building is operating at a deficit, if there are adequate reserves for potential emergencies or future capital improvement projects, and if there are any line items that seem abnormally high. For example, if the line item for legal services are substantially higher than budgeted, that may be an indicator that the building is involved in defending or commencing a lawsuit, or perhaps it's indicative of the building spending money on collection actions to address the building's arrears. The notes of the financial statement may also provide information as to the underlying financial obligations of the building, for example, an underlying mortgage. I normally ask the client's accountant or financial advisor to review the financials, as they may have a better perspective on the matter. If the building is properly managed and the board meets on a regular basis, the board should have monthly minutes to review. This is a great opportunity to review current, on-the-ground information as it relates to the building as a whole and to individual units or lines of units. For example, if you're purchasing Unit 4A and there was a flood reported in Unit 5A, this should give you some pause, as the unit you are looking to purchase may have a potential mold issue if the flood and resulting damage was not properly remediated. Let's use your purchase of Unit 4A once again. If there are complaints of odors on the fourth floor or in the A line, or complaints of noise emanating from your potential neighbors, these quality of life issues may cause you to rethink your purchase. The minutes may also discuss planned increases in your carrying costs or future capital improvement projects, which may result in an assessment or dipping into the building's reserves. These are all financial burdens you may not have anticipated when falling in love with the unit. Please note that the board minutes are only as good as they are kept. Some boards do not meet regularly. Some boards meet every month, but their minutes are very scant and have no meaningful description of what occurred at the meeting. Other board minutes are too detailed and read like a transcript. I cannot predict your particular board minutes and where they would fall on the spectrum, only to say we can only work with what we're provided. My firm also has a standard co-op and condominium questionnaire that we present to the managing agent, which asks more specific and pointed questions. For example, we ask, what is the financing policy? What is the pet policy? And what is the alteration policy, just to name a few. If you intend to finance 80% of the purchase price, but the building only permits 75%, that may financially prohibit you from proceeding with the purchase. If you intend to harbor a pet and the building has a strict no pet policy, you may want to look at a pet-friendly building. If you're purchasing the unit to do a complete gut renovation to make the unit one of your dreams, that dream may quickly turn into a nightmare if the building has blackout dates or blackout months in which alterations are strictly prohibited. The building may also prohibit the moving of gas lines, plumbing, and support walls. It may forbid the installation of wet over dry areas, and the unit may not have a current electrical load capable of supporting your alterations. Relying on the building to approve an electrical upgrade is never guaranteed. Please note that the managing agents may charge a fee to complete the questionnaire, and not all of our questions are answered, but my clients find it helpful when deciding whether the building is the right fit for them. In the event the condominium is new construction, let's say less than 5 years old, we would also like to look at the condominium's offering plan, as it may have some bearing on your rights as a unit owner. In regard to an inspection of the unit, you are somewhat limited when inspecting a co-op or condominium unit. While you can inspect the unit itself, it is rare that the building will permit the common areas to be inspected. For example, I can't foresee the building permitting an inspection of the boiler room, compactor room, elevator, machine room, or any mechanicals located on the roof. If you plan on doing a gut renovation, your instinct may be to decide against an inspection of the unit, as you're going to rip it all out once you close. However, and as contrarian as it might sound, it might be more important to do an inspection when renovating than if you were simply moving into a pre-war unit without any plans to renovate. Depending upon the age of the unit, I'm confident that there is asbestos and/or lead-based paint in the unit. So long as it remains in an undisturbed, non-airborne, and non-friable condition, it's safe. However, your planned renovation may now turn this safe condition into a hazardous one, and your planned alteration has now morphed into a more expensive and time-consuming remediation. Due diligence when purchasing a home is much more straightforward. Your inspector can do a complete inspection of the home and surrounding grounds and will only be prohibited by access or lack thereof. In addition to the standard structural home inspection and termite inspection, depending upon where your home is located, you may want to test for radon, septic, or well water potability. There also may be some seasonal impediments to your inspection. For example, if your home comes with a pool and jacuzzi, you will not be able to inspect those amenities when they are closed for the winter. This situation will need to be addressed in the contract. If you're purchasing a home subject to an existing tenancy, you should review the lease as you will be stepping into the shoes of the seller/landlord and assuming the landlord's responsibilities thereunder. Tenant-specific provisions should be included in the contract. Although not technically part of the due diligence process prior to signing, once the parties are in contract, I will order a lien search when purchasing a co-op apartment and a title search when purchasing a condominium unit or home. These reports are run against the seller, the property, the unit, and the building, and allows us to see if there are any liens, mortgages, judgments, violations, or encumbrances which must be disposed of at or prior to closing. We need to ensure that you are purchasing free and clear of all encumbrances. As you can see, the transaction is not limited to just merely negotiating the contract. There's a lot of due diligence that needs to be performed in advance of signing. I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, please give me a call at 212-935-3131, extension 314. I offer free consultations, and it might just be the start to a nice working relationship. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you.